Today is a very big day in the prop firm world because for the first time, you're going to hear directly from the leadership of a brand new prop firm that is fundamentally changing how prop trading works. I am honored to be the exclusive trader who is announcing the launch of Tenacity Trading, a first of its kind competition-based prop firm that actually puts traders first. And I don't say that lightly. Most prop firms today are built on restrictive rules, slow payouts, and business models that quietly profit when traders fail. And Tenacity is flipping that entire model on its head. And here's why that matters. At launch, Tenacity is offering something that is unheard of in this industry, a $50K straight to funded account for only $100 launch price. Only 5 trading days to pay out. No consistency rule. And lastly, one of the fastest paths to live that I've ever seen. This is not just marketing fluff. This is a structural change. So in this interview, I sit down for the very first time with Jared Postal, the CEO and founder of Tenacity Trading, for the first public, long-form conversation about how this firm actually works, why it was built, and exactly how traders are meant to win inside this prop firm model. In this conversation, we're going to openly talk about why the traditional prop firm model is broken, how competition-based funding is going to align incentives correctly, exactly what traders need to know before they jump in, and how Tenacity plans to scale without sacrificing trader success. So if you're a trader who's tired of passing prop firm evaluations just to get throttled, if you want faster payouts and fewer artificial rules, or if you're here simply searching for what's next in prop firm trading, this interview is going to be required viewing. Tenacity Trading officially launches January 1st, and this is the earliest, most transparent look that you're going to get. So let's get into the interview. All right, everybody, really excited for today's interview. Today I have with us Jared Postal. Jared is the CEO and founder of a new prop firm model that I'm really excited about. You know, as a trader, I take pride in transparency and I really value everything that goes on behind the scenes and creating relationships with businesses and traders that reflect my values. And I feel like this is a really good fit. So I don't want to drop too much information yet because I want you to hear it from Jared, but we're really excited to be rolling out a new model in the prop firm space that I think can really change the game. To this date, we've seen prop firms pretty much perform the same way. And while everybody is saying that they put the trader first or that the rules are to help the trader or one of these many lines, the fastest path to live, they see these things, but do we really see them aligned with those values? I think that's questionable. So in today's interview, we're going to break that down and we're going to talk about how this new firm, Tenacity Trading, is going to change the prop firm model, I think, for the better. So welcome, Jared. Good to have you here today.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
Of course. So where are you joining us from? Tell us a little bit about your background and just a little bit about yourself before we dive into the nitty gritty.
Yeah. So I am currently in Miami, Florida. Me and my team I built this with are spread out all across the country. We have a few guys in New York City, a few guys in San Diego, myself in Florida, and a few more scattered across the country. Just a little bit of background about myself. I went to the University of Maryland. Shortly after graduating college, I got introduced to futures prop trading. It was a few years into that when we said, wow, we have the technology and we have the capital to build our own prop firm. So what we did is we said, let's try to make the most favorable model for the traders. Not worrying about anything else, not worrying about the rules yet, just can we make it very favorable for traders? And we believe that's what we did. We think trading is hard enough as it is. So we wanted to create a model that allowed traders to get to payout and get to live funding without jumping through too many hoops. So we'll obviously dive deeper into what our model entails, but we've been working as a group for the past year brainstorming, thinking how we can make this model the best it can possibly be, going through lots of testing and preparation. And we're excited that we're beta launching on January 1st.
Well, that's really exciting. That's right around the corner. So, a new prop firm, you're launching a brand new prop firm and a different model. But tell me, why now?
Right. So, the prop firm industry and day trading in general is, really a trending business right now. You're seeing more and more traders learn about prop trading, learn about the ability to, make money from their computer and, work for themselves. Like I said, when we said we're going to build a prop firm, we weren't worried about the rules or what the specifics were going to be. It was, let's think what makes a prop firm better for traders. So we made a long list of the things that we could do to make it the best and kind of built from there. We thought there's no better time, 2026. The prop industry is on the up and coming. And we wanted to create something that really gave traders the most fair chance to get their payout and get to a live funded account.
That's awesome, Jared. So, I don't know if you know this, but prop firms are starting to make national headlines now, as I believe it was Bloomberg just wrote an article, and I saw another article elsewhere, but major publications are now starting to broach the topic. So the timing probably couldn't be better. But let's cut to the chase. All right.
Yep.
So what is going to make your firm different, and what problem is it solving?
Yeah. So I think the best thing about Tenacity, while there's a ton of great benefits for the traders, I think the best part is that our payouts are guaranteed. We run on a competition model, meaning we are having a set available for payout, and that is all that's available. The traders see how much they can earn, and that is the limit of it. We've created a formula. It has three parts to it. When a trader buys an account, 20% is taken by Tenacity. That's an operation cost for us. 80% of that account fee is put into what we call the competition entry fund. That is the start of transparency. We're showing every dollar purchased by a trader and where that money is sitting. What we also show is total account profits. So this means how much all the traders in the competition are positive combined. What this does is you subtract the total account profits from the competition entry fund, and you get the available for payout value. Like I said, available for payout is the maximum amount that is available to earn. The competition entry fund will grow as traders buy in, and it will reduce the available for payout as traders make profit and as they take profit. And by take profit, I mean take their payouts, right? What makes us the most unique, though, at the end of the day, is that those funds are guaranteed. Our rules are very favorable. We have no consistency rules, no daily loss limits, no evaluations. It's a direct to sim funded account. You can take your payout in 5 days of a P&L plus $100. We're not sitting here to make you go through an evaluation, to trade the same strategy every day, to trade the same amount of contracts or risk the same amount every day. We believe if you're able to generate profit, you're able to get your payout. You're able to move to a live account. What I mean when I say that all of our payouts are guaranteed is the funds are transparent sitting there. So if in any given time in a competition, there's $100,000 available for payout, and you take a payout of $4,000, we're not denying that. We're not looking into any details other than, did you meet your 5 days? That's it. Clean and simple. The money is sitting there, and we are not denying any payouts.
So there's a lot to unpack there, and a lot of really cool things that you talked about. I just kind of want to dive into a couple of them. So
Yeah.
you're telling me that Tenacity's going to take 20%, and that's it of all the money received.
Correct. So when a trader buys an account for $100, that is our launching price. We take 20%. That's a cost for operation and for us to run our business. We take 80% of the account fee of every account purchased and put it into that competition entry fund.
I love that. So let's think about that for a second. So the way most prop firms work is they profit of from people obviously buying evaluations and blowing their accounts, and they profit more the more people blow their accounts. You're telling me that you're going to make the same amount of money no matter what.
What we're saying is when a trader blows their account, yes, they can buy another one and we're taking our profit, but that $80 that they lost value in their account when they blew it, that money goes back to the traders. So as traders blow their accounts, the fund just maintains its size and then grows when traders buy in.
That's a really good answer. And so I'm just still trying to think through this. So essentially, if I were running a prop firm, I see this as you guys sacrificing profits and a certain level of profitability to guarantee and ensure your traders are put first. Am I putting that correctly?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's our number one priority, creating this system and this pathway for traders to get to their payouts into live funding. From the second you buy your account, you see where the money's going. You see how much is available across the competition. You see how many accounts are in the competition at any given time, and you see how much profit is made at any given time. And like I said, what this does is it guarantees the payouts are there. And, we have very few rules and restrictions. Like I said, if you can meet those 5 profitable days, the money's yours.
That's really cool. So just as a side note, Jared actually brought me through the system prior to this interview, and I got to see the dashboard. And what was fascinating about the dashboard is you could actually see how many traders have accounts, how much money has been put in, how many people are taking payouts. I mean, it's all right there, right? Literally all the statistics, so you know where everybody stands, as opposed to a traditional model. Whereas I don't think the prop firms don't want you to know how many people are buying evals and activation fees because the numbers aren't so hot, right? So the level of transparency that I saw in this has not been seen yet in this industry. So that's why I think it's such a disruptive model. I think you
Not
would
even,
agree.
not even that, Chris. Obviously, when you are an account holder and you're in a competition, you see those statistics on your trader dashboard. But even before you buy an account, we're showing you publicly on our website how much is available. Um, we wanted to create this fund to, like I said, have a system. We're less of evaluating or, nitpicking about your strategy or how you trade and just kind of setting the guidelines and giving you that clear pathway to pay out.
Okay. Now I got to ask the hard question, right? Because the first thing that comes to my mind is if I'm a new trader or a beginner trader, the idea of entering in a competition of more experienced and more advanced traders than myself seems intimidating, and I feel like I'm just going to lose. How does somebody who's newer or a beginner trader, how can they benefit from this model?
Yeah. So I think for a beginner, it's really, a good place to start because you don't have to pass an evaluation. There is a way to kind of get that, call it beginner's luck, where if you're just trying to put $100 into this, which is what the account price is, and make $500, you should be able to do that within those 5 days. I think there is probably some fear in our model of the competition getting so-called ripped through by strong traders. The point of our model isn't necessarily that day one, you're going to be able to make tens of thousands of dollars and withdraw it all the time. It's that the money is guaranteed. The biggest thing with new prop firms is if they have the money to pay out the influx of traders requesting payouts. With us, that's not a problem. It's guaranteed to get paid because we're saying that is all that is available.
Mm-hmm.
When that does happen, right? Because we have a term called equilibrium. Equilibrium means that available for payout is zero, meaning total account profits has reached or exceeded what the competition entry fund and what available for payout was. When equilibrium occurs, the competition is paused. What this means, you are auto liquidated. If when the competition reaches equilibrium, you're above $2,000, those funds get taken to your live funded account. If you're below $2,000, you take a payout direct ACH. The only downfall is if at the time of equilibrium, your balance is below zero, you're taking a loss there. You are not paid out anything. The competition will stay open for entry. And like we said, at equilibrium, it's paused. It starts again when available for payout reaches $40,000.
So let's talk a little bit about the specifics of the entry, what it costs, what the sizing allowance you can have, when can you trade, what can you trade. Let's dive into that a little bit.
Yeah. So basically, the way it works, you buy an account for $100. We take 20% as our operation cost, and 80% goes into the available for payout fund. In a competition account, like we said, there's no evaluations. You're trading direct to sim funded. We all know what sim funded means. It's a simulated account trading in a simulated environment. And whatever you make, we're saying we will pay you as long as you follow our few guidelines. That competition account is going to have a minimum balance of $48,000. It's going to be a 50K and it's a static drawdown. What that means is even if you go in profit plus 1,000 plus 2,000, it's not going to trail you on your way down. You only blow your account at 48,000.
Wow.
There's going to be
That in and of itself is very unique. You don't see a lot of that included, and especially not in $100, 50K, or 48K, whatever you're calling it, direct to funded account. So already, guys, this puts you in a class completely separate than the others. Very interesting. All right, let's hear next.
In that competition account, you're going to have a max contract size of one full futures contract in 10 micros. This is the limit and it stays as it is. We believe one full contract is enough to, trade fairly and, make a decent amount, but not gamble, not be going crazy, going for, a quick buck, still trading with, true consistency and a true strategy.
So I really like that one. I really like that you're keeping the size down because that helps address my fears of the gamblers coming in and full porting 5 minis or whatever they might have access to try and hit a windfall in a no rule or a less rule environment. So limiting people to 1 mini or 10 micros, I think that's a really fair way of doing it. I really like that a lot.
Yeah.
And that's going to help your beginner and your newer traders feel a little more comfortable against some more experienced traders, that they're not just going to run ship on us.
You're going to need only 5 profitable trading days to qualify for a payout or opt out, as we call it. What does a profitable trading day mean? That means a P&L of plus $100. You need 5 of those and you're cleared. You're allowed to opt out and take a payout or go to live. This is based on individual account profits. If your balance is plus 2,000 and above, you have to take that money to live. There's no option to take it as a payout. You're taking it to a live funded account. If your balance is below $2,000 in profit, you take it as a direct ACH payout. Those are set terms and it's set at $2,000. You can also have up to 5 accounts at a time in the competition.
So let's break this down real quick, just to reiterate for the listeners here. $100, essentially a 50K direct to funded account, which is what's comparable to what the other firms do, right? Just for comparisons purposes. For $100, 5 days, you can get a payout. Okay, what am I missing here? That seems pretty amazing.
That's it. Yeah, there's no consistency, no daily loss limit. You can, change the amount you risk every day, change the amount you
and a static $2,000 risk. So you're essentially, for $100, you're getting a $2,000 account.
Correct.
To make money on.
And if your profit is above $2,000, you've earned a live funded account.
Right. So let's talk about that. Let's take that from the beginning. So you've mentioned this $2,000 threshold. All right. So if you make below $2,000, in profits, you take that via ACH and
Correct.
cash. But if you make over $2,000 in 5 days, you can actually move that or more, but as minimum 5 days, you can move that money into a live account at your
Correct.
firm. Now let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So, like we said, above $2,000 in profit, and that's based on individual accounts. So, if I have two accounts, one of them after 5 days or 11 days, I've made 800 bucks. That is not qualified for a live funded account. But if I made on a separate account 2,500, that has to go to a live funded account. The way that works is when a trader chooses to, they opt out of the competition. Basically, what we're doing is we're setting them up through a third-party broker called EdgeClear, and they are trading that live capital within days. Like we said, the minimum for that account is $2,000. So your starting contract size is going to be two full-size futures contracts and 20 micros.
Hmm.
This limit will increase as your balance increases. So if you start at 2,000 with a limit of two minis, when you make 3,000, when you make your balance up to 3,000, you will be increased to three minis. That grows all the way up to you have $15,000 where you'll be capped at 15 minis. Once,
Let's talk a little
yeah,
bit about how do withdrawals from the live account work, and do you take a percentage of that when they withdraw?
yeah. So once you get moved to a live account, before you can take your first payout from live, you need to achieve, again, five profitable trading days with an end of day P&L of plus $100. Once you reach that milestone, that live account is yours. You are able to add to it from funds from the competition, trade it as normal, and take payouts all at your own discretion. You just need to reach that five minimum days once. Another amazing thing about our prop firm is once you get a live funded account, you are still able to purchase the competition sim funded accounts and continue to earn capital to take to your single one live funded account.
Okay. How do you take withdrawals out of the live funded account? How often does that happen? What is the frequency of that after you reach those 5 days? And then
Yeah,
do you take a percentage of the withdrawal?
yeah. So once you reach those 5 days, you can take payouts at your own discretion.
Okay.
It
So every day, if I wanted to take a payout every day, I could?
Correct. You could liquidate your live account. You could take a payout every day, totally up to you. We do take 10% of every payout requested by the trader, leaving the trader with 90% whatever they request.
Which is a fairly standard across funded or sim funded prop firms. But just so everybody's aware, that's a fairly low percentage in terms of live trading accounts. So that's a pretty fair number. All right, very cool. Um, so this sounds to me like the lowest cost direct to funded. It sounds to me like the fastest path to live. And it sounds to me like the most transparent firm I've heard of so far. So this is what made me pretty excited about this interview. And when Jared introduced me to this model, I'm all about it. So we still have yet to see this obviously in action. We haven't launched yet, right? And this is a new model. So do you anticipate any problems with launching? What are things that you're looking out for? Are there any things that you're worried about? Let's hear a little bit from your edge of things.
Yeah. So, like I mentioned, we are beta launching on January 1st. What does a beta launch mean? It means that everything is the same. We are just limiting the amount of accounts we're going to sell per day. The reason we're doing this is just to grow, grow at a steady pace. We don't want to take in more than we could possibly handle. So we're limiting to 200 accounts sold a day. On launch, we think everything's moving very smoothly. Our mission is to make sure that when a trader buys their account, we are, efficiently creating their account in the sim environment through Rhythmic and making sure that the funds are allocated correctly. As long as we can achieve those two things and then make sure our traders are paid out on the back end once they qualify, we feel like we've done our job.
Okay, cool. So, and I'm just doing the math. So you need $40,000 in order to have a valid competition. So you need to sell 400 entries. And if people can buy five, right, I feel like you're not going to have much of a problem getting started. So that seems like a
Yeah.
very viable threshold to reach in a.
So once we're up and running, the minimum for a competition to start is going to be $40,000. For our beta launch on January 1st, like I said, accounts are available for purchase on the 1st, and the first competition will be started on the 12th, regardless of how much is available for payout. This
Hmm.
is part of our beta phase where, we want to get it going. We want traders to be able to start on the 12th, regardless of how large that fund is.
Cool. I love it. One more thing that everybody's going to want to know, and everybody, first of all, I feel like people go crazy over this more so than they need to. But let's talk about platforms, right? What platform our traders are going to be able to trade with on Tenacity for launch, and then maybe you have plans for the future.
Yeah. So all of our accounts are run through the Rhythmic database, whether it's a competition account, sim funded, or in the live environment. So any platform that connects to Rhythmic is going to work. We recommend using Quant Tower or Trading Things. Quant Tower is best for Windows machines. So, it downloads to your desktop. It's very, liked amongst the trading community. It's pretty easy to use. If you are on a Mac device, we would recommend using Trading Things. We have it linked through our website. It's a web-based trading platform and connects seamlessly to Rhythmic. It's going to be the same thing once you're in a live funded account. Even though we do add in that third-party broker edge clear, it's still going to be through the Rhythmic database. So the same platform you were connecting to for your sim competition accounts, it's going to be the same thing once live.
So you had spoken about rules a bunch of times already during this conversation, but one more time, what kind of rules can traders expect in their accounts? And why do you think this is going to blow everything out of the water? So I don't want you to hold anything back. This is your last spiel. Kind of just lay it on us.
Yeah. So the best thing about a Tenacity account, like I said, is that it's direct to sim funded. No evaluation and no consistency rules. Like I said, we are not trying to see your strategy and over evaluate you. If you can generate that profit, you can get paid. That's, the main amazing thing about a Tenacity account. The second amazing thing is that you see how much we have available to pay out, and that ensures you that that money is guaranteed to get paid. Because your first day on your account, if you make $100, we're already deducting that $100 from available for payout. It's already set aside for you to take your payout with it. I think really what makes us so unique is that transparent payout fund and gives traders that relaxation of I can make the profit and I know when I take my payout, it's going to get approved. Not
Mhm.
have to wait for a review stage or answer questions about your strategy or just, feel over evaluated. Like I said, if you can generate the profit by our, few guidelines, you're going to be able to take your payout and it's guaranteed to get paid.
I love it. Well, I love everything I'm hearing, Jared. So, my hope is that you're able to hold true to this model. Not to say that you won't. I believe that you will, right? I've gotten to know Jared a little bit over the last couple of months, and I'm a pretty good judge of character. So I'm really excited about this project, and I'm really excited to bring this to my traders because I'm an educator and I work with a lot of newer traders or struggling traders or traders who are trying to make this a profession. And anything that I can bring to them that offers them a lower cost, lower risk environment for the ability to make money and hone their craft, I'm all about it. And the transparency layer that you're putting into it gives me a lot of confidence and makes me feel really comfortable about introducing this to my group. So we're going to be providing a lot of support over at the Drysdale Trading Group to help traders work on their Tenacity accounts. They might be new to Quant Tower or these other platforms. So we're definitely going to be having classes on how to use that and just get familiar with it because I know that might be a sticking point for some people. But for $100 to have a direct to funded, actually, you can have four direct to fundeds with Tenacity for the cost of one at another firm. So I think the value proposition is so huge that we're going to invest pretty deeply in this. And I'm really excited, Jared. So I really appreciate you taking the time to introduce this to me, and allowing me to introduce this to other traders. So any final words before we hop off here today?
Final words, I'll say tenacity trading, no evaluations, fastest path to live, compete to get funded.
Thank you, Jared.
Thank you,
Looking
Chris.
forward to working with you
Appreciate
in the
it.
coming weeks. Excited for your launch and good luck.
Thank you.
All right.